Well, hello, Stampers. It's the Pampered Stamper, and happy Wednesday to you. Today is day 9, I believe, of the 12 days of Christmas. I'm losing count. How crazy is that? I have a beautiful card for you today. It feels really weird to be recording this one because all the other videos have been live. But today I have a wonderful class in Oostdijk with Caroline Bona and her sister Ali. And but I had to wait till it was light enough to do a decent video, so I'm going to be arriving at the class a little late. This card was inspired by Liz Shannon, who does Ready Set Demo. She does classes for people to make demonstrators' life more easy. I just looked at her card and thought I want to make something like that. I didn't have everything that she did, but it's a really cute card, and I learned a really cool trick that I didn't know yet. So I think that you're going to love that. I'm going to start right away with that. So this is some of the paper that I have left, and this is the stamp set that we're using. All the little backings are on my desk. I'll show you the paper in a minute. But look, this is the big tip right here. This is from the Perennial Postage dies, and this is from the Stylish Shapes dies. Now look at this. When you do this, it doesn't even move around. You don't even have to line it up. You cut those together through the die cutting machine, and I'll show you what you get. It's amazing. Let's see, right here. Look at that. So we need 4 of those. And in my list of supplies, I forgot to tell you about cutting a piece of white square. So you need 4 white squares, and they are, this measurement was not in the picture, 1 5/8 inch or 4.2 centimeters. You could use the little stitch square that comes out of here, but you don't want that background to be stitched. This is what it's going to look like. I made 2 ahead of time because I wanted to do a little comparison. So that one is spattered with water, and this one is spattered with white craft ink. Both of them are nice. If you don't have a white craft ink refill, then spattering with water will work just fine. I don't know how I got the little stripey in there. But you know what? While we have these up, we're going to finish that. Might as well do that. I'm not going in any particular order. The other thing I discovered was that it's nicer to use Azure Afternoon than Balmy Blue. So here we go. And you're only sponging along the top 2/3 or 3/4, and you're leaving the bottom white. And I'm looking at this to see how did I get a stripe on there, and I do not know. I do not know. Did I even tell you what my name is? My name is Jackie van der Sar Boot. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Canada and in the Netherlands. And my maiden name was Boot. My father, and in Dutch they say boat. And Gerard is van der Sar. And I wanted to double my name no matter how long it was because I love Gerard so much that I really did want to take his name, but I wanted my own maiden name to be in there as well. So we're just doing that. And that really dark edge is kind of underneath anyway. But the darker you make this, the more the white will stand out. Look at how cute that is. Okay, we'll do one more. Always start off when you're doing this blending and have patience as the colors layer up. And you know, oh, there, I've got a little mark there. I don't know how I did that, but you know, it doesn't have to be perfect. There. So it does take a little bit of patience to do this, but it's a fun technique. Okay, so now since this is going to take a little bit, let's get, what I did was I put a little bit of white craft ink refill on my block. Then I'm picking up my water painter and I'm just going to squeeze a little bit and make it a little bit runnier. This has been sitting out overnight, so it's probably congealed a little. I'm adding a little bit of water to it, and then I'm giving it a flick. Oh, needs a bit more. This is one of those things that if you're going to make a bunch of cards, do this. You know what? I'm going to use the handle. That works. Maybe a wee little bit more. Okay. It's a very cool technique. I have more ink splatters on my desk, as you can see, than I do on here. But we're going to let those dry. Okay, so it does look quite nice, I think. So you don't need anything fancy. Just get a white craft refill. And the free shipping starts today, okay, for 3 days on orders of $100 or 75 euros. And I'm guessing it's probably around 70 pounds or so. I don't think it makes too much of a difference. A decent size order anyway. Okay, so let's put this away. This is still a little piece of yarn from my card from 2 days ago. This is the paper I have left. I'm just going to move these so I don't squash them. They've got to dry for a little bit. Someone made a beautiful, I think Cards by Juliet made a gorgeous, I shared it on my favorite finds. She made a really nice diorama card using strips of this paper. And then this is the other side with all different kinds of mailboxes. These are all envelopes, really cute. This is a pretty red grid. And then there were 2 sheets of die cuts of all the little creatures. And I have a pouch of them somewhere. Oh, you know what? I do have a bit more paper here. Let me show you. Here we go. So here's my pouch of die cuts. And then the owl is cut from here. It is not a die cut. The owl holding an envelope. Super cute. So some of the creatures were cut from here. The dog and the squirrel was the other 2 were die cuts that I'm using. And then this is the other side of that. It's a really lovely kind of a wintry paper. And then we have this. And I did not get the dies. There are dies that go with this paper, but you can't have everything. The dies will I think they cut out this dog. They cut out one of the bears. I cut them out by hand. I just fussy cut them. So that's the paper. And then here there was a whole sheet of houses. Here's one that I have left. And there's little trucks. Here's the bear die cuts. There's die cuts, but they also cut out of the paper. See? Super cute set. Like, this is a lot of fun. You could gift these to your grandchildren and just have them make all kinds of things. Let them go loose. Buy a pack of paper, get a package of memories and more cards, and give them some glue and just let them go at it and make what they want. So lots of fun. This is a great set. Bring out your inner child. Great activity for the seniors in your church or for girls and boys clubs. You know, we're all kids at heart. Okay, let's get into the bones of the card. So this is the North Pole delivery paper that I just showed you. And then we've used Perennial Postage dies and Stylish Shapes dies. This is also one of the Stylish Shapes dies that we're going to use. We're going to use that one like this. Okay. It's supposed to have red and white twine. My red and white twine is in Canada. So I found this thin, narrow ribbon from a while ago. And I like that. It will work just fine. I already stamped Season Greetings on here in red. And I also stamped From the North Pole in Versamark and then white embossed on black. That is from the North Pole delivery. We have a piece of crumb cake, 4 inches by 5 1/4, 10 centimeters by 14.35, and it got run through with the mini corrugated embossing folder. Next time I do this, I need to make it a little bit longer. So I would do 5 3/8 and go to 14.6 or so, because the corrugated thing, when you run it through, it does shorten it a little bit. So that's my tip for that. Liz had a piece of red and white striped, like diagonally striped paper. I don't know where it's from. I don't have it. So I found this from a couple years ago and it works just fine. But you can see how it's not perfect now. It got a little shorter, but that's okay because it shows the pattern paper a little better. And then we've got a thick white basic card, 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, scored at 4 1/4, or 14.85 by 21, scored at 10.5. Okay, so we'll fold that in half. I didn't do a good scoring job on this, and I don't have a, we're going to use this very carefully. There. Blocks are great bone folders. Okay, so we can get started with this. We're not going to put anything down yet, although, no, I'm going to put these two together. This will make it a bit stronger as well, because this is kind of bumpy. It looks like the inside of a cardboard box, but it's a great folder. I'm just putting my adhesive across this way so it sticks on all the bumpies that are sticking out. Makes a nice little noise. There. And then we're going to tie that red around here. There. This is going to get popped up in the middle. And then we're going to create 4 of those squares like this. We'll have to build those, okay? Give me 1 minute. So I'm going to take this first and wrap it around twice. Now, I do wish I had the red and white string, but you know, that's okay. And I'm just going to do this twice. And I'm going to make it in a little X, I think. And then on the back, I can either tie it in a knot or I can add, I'm not going to tie it in a knot. I'm going to add tear and tape to hold it in place. And I need an extra hand, so I'll just lay the scissors on there. And then we're going to make our little postage things. Assemble them. Hopefully my whites are a little bit dry. We'll start with the ones that I made yesterday. So glad I did that. Okay, so there we have it. And it's a little bit loose, so I'm just going to add another piece of tear and tape to tighten it up a bit. Very unconventional, but it works. They don't have to see the back. There. That works. Now, let's see. Here we go. I have this one from yesterday. And I have this one from yesterday. So the white goes at the bottom. And then if I had my silicone mat, I do not. I'm going to be very careful and hold this up in the air. And I'm just adding a wee little bit. This would have been great too. I just didn't take the time to find my adhesive sheets. That would have been great. And I could have just made little stickers. Just a little bit of, the trick is to not squeeze too hard with this stuff. Okay. You do get better at it with time. There, I think I might have squeezed a bit hard there. All right, I'm just gonna put my finger in the middle. There we go. Here. And now, there, we don't have to see all of those. Okay, I found what I needed, and you know what? It was here all along. My little sponge dauber for glue. This is the little silicone thing that comes with the glass mat. Fantastic tool. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue in here. This is so much easier. And now, oops, do this, and then just go like this. Oh, this one has to get turned around. You can see there's a right side and a bad side on this. The stitching doesn't look as nice on the bad side. So there is a good and a bad side. So here we go. That works. Doesn't have to be perfect. People aren't going to see the back. And here we go. There, so now we have, oops, our 4. This one feels like it's sticking. There. Okay, and these are going to get popped up in a minute. And now I'm going to do it like this so that some of them are darker than others. So here we go. This kind of, and then we have our creatures. We have the dog, and we have the owl, and we have this little guy and this little guy. And he is going to have a little bit of a barber pole behind him. This guy's waiting for his Basha, his boss, to come out of the barber shop. Isn't that cute? So now I have to decide, do I want to pop up the squares and the little creatures? We're going to find out. And let me just zoom in so that you guys can have a better look at these guys because they're super cute. How adorable is that? And the trick with the nice embossing is when you're tapping onto your Versamark, don't squish too hard or you get too thick of a line. Okay, so this can now go on our card base, okay? Oops, let me just move all these guys out of the way. And a nice liberal amount of glue. There, oh, I missed. There, just rub it, it's all good. And my ribbon is not quite in the middle, I see. There. Looking good, my friends. What do you think? It's looking good. Okay, so I went ahead and did all the boring stuff. I put all the, you know what, I lied. I didn't do all the boring stuff. I have to take the backings off yet, but I'll do that because then I can chat a little bit. So there is going to be a PDF tutorial at the end of the 12 days of Christmas, okay? And then all the cards will be in there and you can purchase it. It will be a really good price. I'm thinking 12 days of tutorials for $12 sounds like a nice, you know what, I'm gonna see if I can move this one over. I want it just a little bit more spaced apart. That's good, like so. Yeah, and then I was going to say too, there is free shipping today, which is wonderful, but the best deal in the catalog is absolutely the starter kit. So message me if you have any questions about that. You get an inner glimpse into the workings of Stampin' Up. You get a 20% discount on your own purchases. So don't be afraid that you have to be a demonstrator, that you have to do what I do. You do not. You can just get your own discount, and as soon as you can't afford to keep buying, then you stop. And there's no repercussions, so you really have nothing to lose. Okay, so now we're going to put our little banner on. Actually, I shouldn't do the banner yet. Okay, so this is an example of how you should see all these things. Oh my word. Okay, I'm not quite ready to put this on here yet, but I have taken off my little thingamabobbers. So I have this little thing, and I have to decide where to put it, on this side or on this side or in the middle. I'm not sure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use liquid adhesive, then I can decide and I can move. I probably still can't move it, but I'll show you a little tip because there's not much of an edge there. I did not have the same season's greetings that Liz did. Okay, that will work. No, no, it's not working very well at all. My idea is, okay, it's working better now. Sliding it along a little bit. There. Okay, that's going to work. I was going to, and I still can. Look, I'm going to add a little bit of tear and tape across here for stability. There, and it doesn't have to come off. It's just there. Okay, perfect. Happy squirrel, happy squirrel. I would love to hear the worst thing that you did when you were making a card. What's the biggest disaster that you've had? Okay, there we go. If you do like this video, please share. Now I forget what's going where. I think this guy's going at the top. There. My little owl is going here. So the cards, the little things are cut from cardstock. I mean, not cardstock, DSP. So you do need to balance them a little bit with some good dimensionals because they're not super thick. What's really cute is the way that they extend past the square. So thank you, Liz, for this great idea. Yeah. Here we go. Oh, and you know what? We're not going to do him yet because we need to do the poll. I popped that up too, and I probably shouldn't have, but it's too late. It's done. There. He's going to sit with his little tail. He's like, I see you, owl. What are you coming to bring me? There you go. That's the card. Now I'm going to skedaddle over to the Netherlands. To Zeeland, which is another province. I have to drive about an hour and 15 minutes, which for Holland is long. And they will have coffee waiting for me, and I'm going to learn new things from Caroline and Ali. So thank you so much, guys, for joining me today. Here is the card that we made yesterday, in case you missed it. And then I have the card from, let's have a look. The day before that, we had this card. So these are all going to be in my 12 days of Christmas. And then that was the card before then. So be sure to go back and look at the videos. Most of them are on YouTube. This one is not on YouTube because the internet quality was so bad that I wasn't going to post it to YouTube. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you have a super day. Share my video. I'd love to hear where you're from, especially if you're a first-time person who has never commented before. I would love to meet you. All right. Have a great day and take good advantage of the free shipping or the starter kit promotion. If you need any help, have any questions, please reach out. I'm here for you. I can help you if you live in Canada or if you live in any of the European countries. All right. Have a great day. Bye.